gangstalking targeted individuals.
Going to speak to the camera very much.
Are they crazy?
I've been a targeted individual.
Organized stalking and electronic harassment.
A targeted individual.
Really unfortunate that I have to make this video.
Criminal activities.
This is a targeted individual.
I want to give testimony of how I became a TI.
We're now recording the video, and we have been basically saying what we think about our targeting.
Well, I think the targeting's a load of shit. Not that it's fake, no.
Yeah.
It's real, but
Yeah.
it's just very, very difficult for the both of us to,
Yeah.
not just the both of us, but for any targeted individual out there. It's just, it's quite intense. And Ralph and I just thought we'd get together and make a joint TI video, Down Under.
Yeah.
We've taken inspiration from the UK team
Yeah.
and the TIs in America. I mean, I know there are a lot of Australian targeted individuals, but as I said in one of my earlier videos, we are quite scattered, and Australia is quite large and vast. So Ralph and I have gone together, and here we are. The Australian TI team. It's the start anyway, so come on in, people, come on in. TIs from Australia, come on in. Let's get together and yeah, start working together as Ralph and I are. We're trying to set a benchmark and a standard, hopefully. Well, I'm Andre Bitter, and everyone knows me as Andy B. I've been a hairdresser / barber for about 10 years. I'm actually qualified. I've gone to TAFE and done my apprenticeship. My parents are immigrants from Lebanon.
But they were born here, right?
My mother was born here, and my father came over here when he was 3 months old.
Yeah.
They fled not during the Civil War, before the Civil War broke out.
Yeah.
So, been here for quite some time now. I think in the 60s they came over. Yeah, I come from a middle class Christian background. Just just a regular bloke. Don't know why I'm being targeted. I'm not anything special. Not a superstar. Not a millionaire. Don't have any money. Don't have any brains. I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't know why I would be a target. Maybe because it's easier for them to pick off someone that can't fight back, doesn't have the financial capabilities, doesn't have the intellectual capabilities to sort of challenge this through the legal system. You know how the legal system is full of red tape and ins and outs and twists and turns. So it does make it very, very difficult, especially up against this large and vast network, this shadow network, which is embedded in all facets of society. To try and keep it very general and simple without going into any details, it is a deep state, as Dr. Catherine Horton says, but I'm not really inclined saying it's a Nazi-based thing, but I do understand that this type of harassment and surveillance grid was established in East Germany by the Stasis, the Stasi German police, and I guess that's where the Nazi title sort of is derived from.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to throw in on that, man? What's your background?
I came here around 2010, and I finished information and technology. So it's an IT.
Where did you come from, though, man?
Came from the Philippines, and I arrived here November 20, to be exact, November 2010. I did a course in aged care back at TAFE, in TAFE, and I was working as I was doing cleaning jobs back in Canberra. It was good money though. It was good money though. You know?
Yeah.
And
kept your pocket full.
Yeah.
And your stomach full.
Decided to make the video because of my situation. My situation is not actually doing good.
To put it to you guys, Frank, we're both very, very desperate. I mean, we're not begging. You know, we've got our pride, we've got our honor, but we're getting to a point where we're both very, very desperate because wherever we go in society, it's like a network of people are just assigned to follow you wherever you go and just to harass you, make your life difficult on all levels, regardless.
Well, I could say that me and Andy have different targeting strategies, as I found out that for every targeted individual, they employ different tactics, different technologies, different different agencies to a target.
I guess everyone has their own Achilles heel.
Yeah, I know.
You know, everyone has their own weaknesses, so they use that to their advantage. So it's tailored to suit every target individual, but essentially the foundation of the program remains the same.
Yeah. So Andy gets street stalked while I get monitored through satellite surveillance system.
Isn't it? It's kind of strange though how they're able to locate us in public with pinpoint accuracy. It's like they always know where you are.
Yeah, it's because you get followed 24/7, man. They have a group of people that that monitors you for 24/7. They do it in shifts, and I don't know how many people.
So I'm guessing you got
There are
teams in cars. There are teams in cars, and there are teams on feet, right, on foot.
Yeah, and for me, I got the controlled monitored stalking type of surveillance. So it's kind of like they're doing all the stalking on the sidelines, like from a base or an HQ. They are doing it through a satellite system based monitoring. So it's crazy.
Is this a satellite that is on a satellite tower, or would it be a satellite that's in the sky?
I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure that wherever I go, because they followed me when I was in the Philippines, and I'm not just saying this, it's in the video. It's crazy.
No, he's 100% right, because I went to Thailand, to Phuket, Patong, and I was also targeted. I was run over on my scooter there, and I was targeted on the aeroplane going to Thailand. I got arrested and detained.
Crazy.
I was detained in Singapore airport.
Jesus Christ.
At
It's
Changi
just
Airport.
Crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, if you guys want to hold on 1 second.
April this year, 2017, and I was telling my sister to be more cautious of her surroundings because of my situation.
To kind of maintain privacy a lot more stricter.
Yeah, I was telling them that these stalkers are monitoring. You know, monitoring. It means they're on surveillance. They're surveilling me, and they are kind of like they were sharing my information around.
Yes, I feel that's the same with me. Wherever you go, it feels like they know about you.
Yeah, it may sound insane on a person that hasn't
Experienced it.
experienced this, but it's
It's intense.
It's crazy. It's being done. It's being done technologically.
On such a high professional level.
Yeah.
It's a very professional level.
Yeah, and
But it also does involve.
they would make you think that you
I'm
are
not a
going
snitch.
insane. You know?
I'm not a snitch or anything, but this does have a high level involvement from the criminal underworld as well as the legal side of things. I don't know how that connection is made.
Yeah.
But it just seems like there's a high level of corruption somewhere there, which is enabling this program to keep its momentum flowing. Now back to what I was saying about being detained at Singapore airport.
Yeah.
Here's the Changi airport blanket that they gave me, a purple one, mind you. You know, that's also a harassment technique. So I was stuck at Singapore airport for 2 days and they were questioning me as to why I was going to Thailand. I'm going to Thailand to drink up and party. Why else am I going? You know what I mean? We're really stoked and dumbfounded. We just don't really know to go left, right, straight,
Yeah.
back, up, down. I mean, we've rang up. You've called up as many authority or,
Yeah, I've called-
all the agencies you can possibly ring up,
Yeah.
and it just feels like they know. There's a sense of feeling like they know what is going on. Even the
Yeah, but
hospitals
it-
have an understanding of what's going down.
Yeah, but they kind of like into, you know, they in their side, they, it seems that even though they know about it, they don't want to get involved. You know what
It's
I'm
like it's
saying? Or
hush
it's
hush.
kind of like a highly classified operation. You know?
Like it's very confidential in some sense.
Yeah.
Or if it's,
So-
I'm not sure it's confidential, or if people are too afraid to speak
Yeah.
out because they
Yeah.
know what's going down and they don't want to end up being in the crossfire.
I mean, we're not the experts here. You know, it's not our profession. I mean, he's a barber, for Christ's sake.
I cut hair. I cut hair for a living,
I'm a cleaner, man. I mean, I clean. I just clean for a living.
and not the cleaner you guys are thinking about. I mean, literally cleaning with nifty. Not
Yeah,
not, not
I
your
mean,
cleaner like
we're
bang
not-
bang.
We're not freaking the experts here, you know. But we're
We're just a couple of average blokes just
yeah.
trying to sort out through this maze of smoke screens and mirrors
Yeah.
and Jedi mind tricks and it's just unbelievable. I mean, any TIs that are watching this video,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are probably going to say, oh, okay, we can fill in certain things that you guys are missing out on.
Yeah.
Well, leave a comment down below and fill us in, you know what I mean? The more the
Yeah.
merrier. I mean, strength in numbers. You get one stick, you can break it. You get a bundle of sticks, you can't break it. And I think that's how the TI community is going to advance. We can't do it alone.
I just wanted to ask if how long have you been targeted, and when did it started? When do you think that it started?
I'm finding it very, very difficult to actually pinpoint on the timeline how far back it goes. But I've gone back at least 13 plus years. So probably around since I was 17, 18. This is how long I've been targeted for, but I've only been conscious of my targeting and aware of this program for the last maybe 3 years. And a lot of information has been flooding forward through the internet, which has only been recent. I mean, when I started posting my first video on my first channel, Andy B, I mean, there was hardly anything out there. I mean, there were still people out there posting and there was a bit of information, but nowhere near as much as there is today. It's just like, oh my God, what is going on? It's just every day there's a new TI stepping forward. I mean, what is going on? Is this a genocide? Is this a population control? I mean, what is this? Is this like what Hitler done in World War II to the Jews, but on a very modern day advanced scale? I mean, it just appears that way. It appears that way to me with no concentration camp. Your house has become your concentration camp. Society has become your concentration camp. But to be honest with you guys, I'm quite fearful 24 hours a day. And I'm very fearful of my interactions with many, many people. I second guess and try and read between, you know, what are they up to? What's their agenda behind talking to me? Or why are they being so nice when before they were being so nasty and mean? I mean, it's quite confusing and it really throws your bearings right off. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know, Ralph, do you have anything to add? You know, Ralph comes here by public transport and he does get harassed on his way here.
Yeah.
But when was the last time you came? Was it?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday he came, and since yesterday it seems like our targeting's reduced. From my end, that's what it seems like.
To me, ever since I posted the video, it reduced. But I'm not really proud to say that I'm posting out these videos because because I just want it to be left alone, man.
Well, that's what we all want. We just all want to be left alone.
I
I mean, we get called whistleblowers and we can't keep our mouth closed and whatnot. But hey, if someone's twisting your arm and it's hurting, of course you're going to scream. How do they expect you to be quiet when they're twisting your arm daily, figuratively speaking?
I mean, I have no choice. That's why I posted the videos, because I need to get my voice heard, at least. My targeting is crazy. I mean, if I started to tell this to the people that I know, or even the guys I don't even know if they would believe me, man, because the technology that they were freaking using against me, it's
so
highly
advanced.
classified, bro. It's
Highly
classified.
advanced.
And I'm telling you, I'm just a clean. I'm not even that much of a importance, you know.
And there are a lot of other technologies that they're employing or deploying on us, which
Yeah.
we don't really want to get into right now.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to look them up, there are patents out there, and yeah, there's some really scary advanced technology out there that will really blow your tops off. I mean, this is how advanced these intelligence agents or these shadow intelligence agencies. I don't know. I don't want to point the finger at, say, ASIO or CIA or NSA.
Yeah, because we don't
We
really
don't know,
who
but-
are targeting us, but
But they're the types of people that you would think are
Yeah.
capable of obtaining this advanced technology.
yeah.
But why would they
They would-
select mediocre, non-important people like ourselves? I mean, it doesn't register up here. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not registering.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just crazy how we're being targeted, and it goes on for 24 hours. Come on, man. Come on, bro. I mean, we don't even do. I mean, we're not even doing any illegal stuff. I mean, we're just basically living, you know.
And when you say illegal, you haven't done anything illegal. What's funny is
Yeah.
a lot of the street perps that are on foot, and a lot of the perps that they get to do a lot of their dirty work,
Yeah.
do have criminal
Backgrounds,
records
yeah.
and backgrounds. You know.
Backgrounds.
So it's just not adding up. I'm not comprehending it.
The guy has an illegal background, and this guy harasses me every day. You know, harasses me every day, and bro, I tried to warn him, bro. I told him that you have to be aware of what's going on. I mean, this is not. It's probably from an authority, but what they're doing is illegal. You know.
Yeah,
they're
and-
using people.
Of course, and those people out there that believe people are being mind controlled
Yeah.
and you know controlled, you know, with a keypad from a remote distance. That's bollocks. I mean, the people that are harassing us are well aware of what they're doing.
Yeah.
They get given instructions and they follow their instructions. They're order followers.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of what they've been told about the victim that they're targeting, you know, is unknown to me and unknown to Ralph.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give them the permission. It doesn't justify their actions. So in a sense, if you're harassing someone and gang-stalking someone and causing them such psychological trauma, it seems highly ritualistic in a satanic sense. Now, I'm not a Bible basher and I'm like, oh, Jesus and oh, God and oh, the devil. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in Jesus and I do believe in God, but I'm not going down that path, oh, Satan and Satan. No, I'm just saying it does have a satanic element to it on some level because they get some type of enjoyment. Also, I've seen the perps' faces. They smile and they actually get a rise and a buzz and enjoy watching us suffer. And I'm just not understanding how you can have the heart to do that. Are they lacking empathy? Are they lacking something in their brain that makes them human? I don't know. I may be going too far with this, but I'm just trying to rationalize it all because none of it is rational. None of this is rational at all. What's your take on that?
My take on the.
You know, the rationale behind the stalking, the harassment. I mean,
I don't really have any words for that because I mean, to get yourself motivated with this, you have to be passionate about this, man, which is really messed up. It's messed up, man.
yeah, and
You have to be stone-hearted you have to have a numb heart to do this, man.
to carry this out on an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking, you do this day by day, 24/7, to a person. I mean, it would change you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well,
Because
it's changed me on a
It-
on a very
it
deep
would-
deep level. It's changed me
Yeah.
through to the core.
Yeah.
I mean, I've lost a lot of hope in my human species. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
finding
it's
it
just-
very, very hard to trust humans. I know a lot of people out there, just generally speaking, have gone through a lot of hardship in their life without the program, and they find it hard to trust people. But being in this program gives a whole new meaning to not trusting people. This is like espionage, spy, 007 shit at its finest. I mean, dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? You remember playing Nintendo 64 and James
Yeah.
Bond?
Yeah.
This is just like this, you know, Jason Bourne shit. I mean, it's just, it's fascinating me. And to be honest with you, I salute whoever put this program together. I mean, it's not a good program or anything,
Yeah.
but it's genius.
Yeah, it is.
It's genius. Whoever's put this program together, or the collective of people that put this together, is genius.
No, the thing that I admire about this is they target people, right? And without the knowledge, they do it without the knowledge of the victim's loved ones, you know. They do it continuously.
And sometimes they
They
do
would-
involve the victim's loved ones.
In some
Depending-
point of a TI's life, I think yeah, but because every TI they employ different tactics, you know, and they have different situation. It's kind of like a situation basis.
Like I know with me, I've been
Because-
put on the terrorist watch list, so
Bro,
that's why they've
I think
involved my
both of
family.
us has been, no, both of us has been. I mean, terrorist watch list. I mean, I watched Dragon Balls, man.
Yeah, so do I. I love Goku and Vegeta, but hey, I mean, I've had the
Vegeta,
police
man.
try and ask me to give them my passport. I mean, that shocked the hell out of me. Why would you ask someone to give up their passport unless you think they're a terrorist and
Yeah,
they
that's
want to go overseas somewhere and, you know, pick up some gun? I mean, the only gun that I fired is on Call of Duty, so
yeah.
I mean, that's as far as it goes with me.
I mean, that's your personal document. How are they, you know?
Exactly.
It's,
And between myself and the viewers and Ralph, I mean, I don't like having my face on camera and on YouTube. It was just a last resort thing.
me as well.
I mean,
Me
I
as
feel
well.
very uncomfortable making videos, but I have
Yeah.
to suck it up
Yeah.
and pop out my chest and
Yeah,
throw
we-
it out there.
We need to get our voice heard because it's just crazy. Like in a year, I've experienced vandalism in my home. I've experienced robbery in the Philippines, and it's crazy, man. I mean, these people are heartless criminals, you know.
Yeah, and I know with
They're
myself,
crazy.
I live in community housing, which is kind of like a government housing, and a lot of the locals, I mean, are trying their hardest to make me lose my my home, so I end up homeless and on the street.
Yeah.
And to some degree, I know that housing is involved in this on some degree because I've gone to tribunal, I've gone through all the proper legal processes, and they're still coming into my home and vandalizing my property. I mean, I have hardly any clothing left. All my clothes and jeans and shoes have holes in them, which just pop up overnight. I mean, I only walk on the footpath to the shopping centre and come back home. How did my clothes acquire holes in them? I'm not jumping fences and doing some Black Ops mission, so why are my clothes acquiring all these holes in my couches? And my dog is quite sick frequently. I have to take it to the vet quite frequently because of the poisonings and druggings. And I mean, when I talk about poisonings and druggings, you'll be like, oh my God, you need mental help, mate. You're paranoid and whatnot. But no, that's far, far from the truth. This stuff actually takes place, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy.
Yeah, me
I mean,
as well.
Imagine you looking,
It's just crazy, man.
you looking at something and saying, "Oh, that's blue," and it is blue, and that person says, "No, that's not blue. You're crazy. You need help." That's what it feels like, if that metaphor makes sense.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting, that's the word.
Yeah. So regarding with the tactics, you know, what kind of what kind of tactics do they impose on you?
Well, they use that the exit entry sort of tactic. So when I'm leaving my property,
Yeah.
someone else will be leaving theirs at the same time, or when I'm walking around the streets, they'll slam their doors as I'm walking past each house. Each door will slam as I'm walking past, or if it's at night, a light will turn on in front of each house as I'm walking past, and before you jump and say, oh, that's a sensor, no, there's no sensors. I've already looked at these houses, there's no sensors, they're just regular lights that are being switched on by the occupant of the house. So, I mean, that's just the real small parts of the harassment that goes down. If I was to sit here and detail everything, I mean, I don't think there'd be enough memory on the phone or camera to record it all.
Yeah, me as well. But in regards with me, they will how do I start, man? Because they've employed a lot of tactics with me, like in this suburb. Whenever I arrive in this suburb, the neighbors would get informed by these stalkers. With me, I get technologically harassed through satellite.
Well, for example, if you're watching a video on your phone,
Yeah.
or typing or talking to someone on the phone or making a video,
Yeah.
do you get constant bombardment of messages from people, just as you've seen with me earlier on?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen what happened with Andy. So with him, whenever he's doing something, he would get constant messages in his phone.
To prevent me from making a video, or a
Yeah,
phone call will
or-
come through to disable the video from recording.
And it's not just that. It's the, oh no, you have me on block, right?
No, it wasn't me. They did it themselves. They even
Oh.
they changed people's names in my phone book. They go into my phone book
So,
in my phone, and
yeah.
they change the name of a person. So just say it's John Smith with the number 04 such and such. John Smith will be changed to just a J, and I wouldn't have done that. So I'll be scrolling through my phone looking for a person's name. I'm like, hey, where'd this number come from? I don't know this number. And then I remember, oh, that's so and so's number. So why is the name being changed? And they also change around the application icons. They put your phone on loud and on silent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all done remotely.
Yeah. So he gets devices manipulation, and
What about the email hacking as well, where they get into my email and they delete emails?
yeah.
It's just, the list goes on and on and on. And I mean, if half the stuff we're going to mention we go through and experience as a result of this program, it's so unbelievable. So the only way it's going to be believed is if a bunch of people get together that are going through the same thing and give their account. So it's like, oh, it's more plausible. We got more weight behind us if it's more than one person saying it. And Ralph and I didn't know each other before becoming TIs. I mean,
Yeah,
you got in
yeah.
contact with me because of the videos I made, right?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
we couldn't have gotten together and collaborated.
Hmm.
We're just giving each other's accounts, and they're very similar. And it's unbelievable. It's just mind-blowing. So I've recently also been in contact with a guy from Brisbane, whose his channel is Awakened State of Mind Australia. He's a very, very smart man. Him and his missus are being very, very heavily targeted. I mean, if you guys want to watch his videos, he actually catches the network of perps, the gang stalkers, following him around, and he's even seen them change the number plates around. So he's left his dash cam on his car, gone into a shopping center and come back out, and it's caught them replacing a number plate on the same car. What the hell is that? How crazy is that, bro?
It's crazy.
You
I don't
wouldn't
have any
believe
words
it.
for it.
You wouldn't even believe it if you saw it with your own two eyes.
It's just, how we are being targeted like this. It's just, it's unbelievable.
And what bothers me is the amount of resources and funding that they're throwing towards this when we've got people on the street that are homeless.
Yeah.
And they're saying, oh, we have to make budget cuts for the health system and
Yeah.
etc. and the education system, and our infrastructure's not as up to date. And they're throwing money on these programs. It does not make sense. What's your take on that, man? What do you sit on the same line as me with that, or what?
No, I don't want to go that far, man.
You don't want to go that far?
I don't want to touch that, bro. Don't want to touch that. But I don't think they're ready for what we're going to say about what we think about our targeting.
I believe the human mind is very strong and capable of handling many things if need be. And I do feel that the general public deserves to know what is going on.
Yeah.
And not only that, the general public deserves to know that they themselves, anyone from the general public, can be placed into such programs like this at a drop of a hat. And your life can be turned upside down in a blink of an eye. And all your support network can be cut off, all your friends can be cut off from you because they also get contacted and get involved.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how strong this thing is. You end up being isolated and alone, and the only people that you end up being able to talk to are other targeted individuals. That's it. I've only been in
true.
contact with other
You
targeted
can't-
individuals.
Once you're a TI, you can't really trust anybody because they get told, and the people that get told by these stalkers would immediately believe them because they would think that they are of an authority, you know, and it's just crazy.
Oh yeah, and if you're a male TI and you have a lot of women approaching you in a real flirtatious way, I'm sorry to say this, you're not Brad Pitt. They are just tricking you. They are patting your ego and they're trying to wiggle themselves in like a honey trap. It's happened to me really, really recently. Not going to mention any names. A local bird I got quite close to. Just sort of trying to fabricate an issue. So they get close to you, and then they fabricate an issue which they lure you into. And if you're not smart enough to pull yourself out of it, they can twist that around on you legally and put you through the court system, put an AVO against you, an apprehension violence order, or whatever, just to incriminate you in any way they can. That's the word I'm looking for. They'll try and incriminate you, frame you, set you up in any way you can. So a couple of months ago, I just scraped out of court by the skin of my body, just scraped out of court with just a fine. And I was very, very lucky because I took the bait a few months ago. They left a bag full of rounds, ammunition in the parallel street with knives and whatnot, and I got caught with them. Now, nobody finds rounds or bullets or ammunition on the side of the road. That is unheard of. And like a fool, while knowing I'm in the program, I picked them up and brought them home like a fool, and I took the bait and got trapped. But I was very, very lucky to walk away from this without any legal repercussions hammering me.
I mean, the suspicious thing about this is, how did they found out that you have this type of item inside your home?
That's what I am trying to work out.
I don't. It just doesn't make sense at all, But once you're a TI, if you're a TI,
There are snitches everywhere.
you would experience. It sounds crazy, Coming from a guy who has no
No criminal background whatsoever. No criminal background whatsoever.
It's insane. I mean,
Me on the other hand, I've got driving offences, doing burnouts and whatnot when I first got my license, so I was a bit of a car hoon.
yeah.
But Ralph is just a straight 180, squeaky clean, churchgoer. He showed me some pictures of him. What was it? Kind of like a choir altar boy
yeah.
gown.
Yeah, it's choir.
So you get the gist. He's part of a church group.
Yeah.
So in this situation, when you're looking at us both, I'm more likely to be probably targeted than he should be. But in saying that, if you've done something wrong, you should go through the proper legal processes and then be dealt with accordingly with the law, not with this illegally run, torturous program that just strips us away of all our basic human rights, freedom, liberty, our right to privacy. That's the number one thing, is our right to privacy. When you're a TI, you got no privacy. You got no privacy.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll go through your undie drawer and check out what undies you wear. They've even ripped my undies. That's how invasive these people can get.
Do you want me to tell them on how I was targeted?
Yeah, go for it, man. Don't hold back.
So I was living in Canberra. I lived there for about 5 to 6 years.
Yeah? Just give me one moment. I'm just going to grab some juice.
Okay, bro. So I lived in Canberra. I lived there for like 5 to 6 years. had no problems at all. I was doing good, and was doing well with the people. I had friends there. Um, and and one day, um, uh, I was how do you say it, Andy? Well, I was living with my aunt, and one day I started to hear these voices in our TVs. I know it may sound. What was it? Sorry.
Sorry.
So I know it may sound crazy, but I can record the voices. It was coming directly from the TV, and I can record these voices. You can watch my videos.
And if you think he's crazy, he's not, because I heard it myself.
Yeah, it's
It is insane. It is. I mean, they
so
can
these stalkers tap in to your speakers.
remotely, mind you,
Yeah,
no wires,
no wires.
no wires.
They tap it in like in a faraway location. I don't know where, but somewhere in Canberra, because that's where I was targeted. And what I think on why I was targeted is because I used to go out by myself. I used to drive around Canberra a lot. I used to park on places that because Canberra they have a free Wi-Fi, and back then in the house that I was living doesn't have any Wi-Fi at all. And back in my auntie's house, the Wi-Fi is pretty slow. So I go out by myself, go to Macca's, whatever, Woolies. Basically, I just drive everywhere in Canberra by myself. And these people, I don't know how they found me, but they were already surveilling the places in on the places that I go to. I'm pretty sure they were surveilling the area, the whole area.
Did you notice before the harassment and everything else started that you were being surveillanced?
No, I don't.
See, I did. I noticed that I was being
Because-
followed around before all the harassment and gang stalking started. I
Yeah,
knew
but-
that someone was watching me from a distance.
But here's the thing, in regarding with the followings, back in July 2016, it was July 2016. I was uh, I was parking in this area somewhere in the city in Canberra. I was parking there, and whenever I park there or whenever I park or around near the city, these specific three cars would follow my car. And sometimes when I stop in an area, these people would. So here's the car, right? These people would just stop in front of my car, and then the drivers would just look at me, like literally, like 5 seconds or 6 seconds. They would just look at my face, and then they would drive. They would drive away from my car, and that was regarding the car that you were mentioning, the car follow-ups. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm telling you.
It seems like private investigators or some type of professionals were following us at first. I mean, that's what I found. It seems like they were profiling us or just watching our movements for a few months prior to them fully launching. What is it? The intense harassment or the program on us? I'm still trying to work out what they were doing before the harassment and everything started, but I knew that there were people following me around. I don't know what they were up to, I don't know what they were doing, but I thought they were intelligence agents or, I was telling my mum, I go, Mum, like, the feds are following me, and my mum's saying, well, what are you doing wrong for the feds to follow you? I'm like, nothing, Mum.
Yeah, that's the thing. that's the problem with this. I mean, it's so surreal to them. Once they hear this from a person, they would automatically say, "Why did you do something wrong? Did you
Exactly.
you broken the law?" I mean,
The usual response is, oh, what have you done wrong? Or who are you for them to do this to you? You're nobody. What do they want from you?
That's the typical response. You know?
Yeah.
It, they can just these stalkers can just basically target everybody because of that mentality. You know.
Do you know what
You know?
my response is
You
now to
won't freaking
people?
get help.
You know what my response is now to people when they ask me why is this being done to you?
Yeah.
Because they can. Plain and
Yeah.
simple. Because they can do
Yeah.
it. That's
that's a
the only
good
thing
response.
that's the only thing I can come up with, because they can.
Yeah, that's a good response. That's a good response.
That's it.
Man.
They've got the capabilities, they've got the authority. I mean, no one's going to beat down their neck. They're not going to face any legal repercussions as a result of this.
Yeah, yeah.
So they can do it and get away with it.
Yeah, they can, and yeah, they influence people, and because of the smear campaigns, because of the too much defamation, you know, the TV people just will gladly mess with you, you know.
You know, bottom line, this is just it's a
think-
takedown
yeah,
program.
the people would think that it's legal. That's why they would start to mess with you.
Well, I'll tell you guys a quick story. I was at Officeworks buying a phone, and I realized every store that I went into,
Yeah.
they got a phone call, and you know the cashier or whoever would change straight away as soon as they got the phone call. So when I went to Officeworks this time, they didn't call, and I said, "Man, you're going to get a phone call in about 30 seconds, and they're going to say some rubbish about me to you. Don't believe what they're saying. It's illegal." And the bloke looked at me like, "What? Like I'm crazy? What are you talking about?" And then lo and behold, the phone rang. He answered the phone, and his eyes popped out of his head, and he went, "It's them." And I said, "See?" I go, "Don't tell him anything about me." And he goes, No, he's not here. There's no one here." And he hung up. And he looks at me, and I said, "Just don't even talk about it. You don't want to know." I just bought my phone and walked out, and the guy was just like, "What the hell's going on?" The guy at Officeworks was scratching his head. So I was also sleeping in my van at McDonald's on Parramatta Road, Ashfield, when I was homeless, and I noticed I was being harassed a lot more then. So I called up the McDonald's off a private number, and I put on like a professional accent, a very professional tone of voice, and I said, "Is that bloke still in that car park in the van?" And the guy said, "Who's this?" And I said, "Well, it's who you spoke to the other night." And I said to them, "You know what to do if he jumps out of the van?" And the guy said, "Yes, we know what to do. We'll call you." And I just hung up straight away and realized then and there that it wasn't going on in my head, that something was really, really going down. So I kept probing and prodding and probing and prodding until I broke through the barrier and found out that there's something really, really big going on. Now, coming forward to 2017 December and knowing what we know, it's scary. It's really, really scary. The mammoth scale of this, the international level is unbelievable. There's no borders that they can't cross. There's no oceans that these people can't cross. I mean, it's like they're already there waiting for you wherever you go. I know that sounds crazy, but it's very, very true. And other target individuals out there, many will agree with me, and they'll probably leave comments down below saying, yes, this is very, very true. But we would just like to get other people that are not target individuals aware of what's going on. So if they do get approached and asked to join in on this harassment, don't. You're killing innocent people. There have been many, many people that have taken their own lives as a result of these programs being perpetrated against them. It's murder. It's murder at the nth degree. And it's satanic and evil. So please, people, don't get involved in this program if you're approached. Regardless of how much money they're going to pay you, you're virtually killing people. So if you can put your head on your pillow at night and be happy with, you know, that handbag or that motorbike or that money that's in your pocket for doing it, you're a sick person. Just know that you're killing a lot of people by engaging in this program. To you guys it may seem like a 5-minute harassment, but if you walk through a gauntlet of perps, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, it all adds up. It's just death by 1,000 paper cuts. That's exactly how this is. So what do you have to add in that, man?
To the TIs that are only recently targeted, I suggest that don't react to what what the stalkers are doing to you. You know, don't do anything drastic. Um, because what I experienced in the early stages of my targeting is I panicked too much, and what I did was I went to the the feds
So did
to
I.
get some help, but
Seems that made it worse.
what they did was they referred me to a mental institution so I could get help. It's just crazy.
Well, that's the number one card that they'll use to discredit you.
Yeah.
The mental health card.
It's crazy. You won't get help. So, to the TIs that are recently just experiencing on being targeted, I suggest that you just
Try and ride the wave.
try to just try to ignore it. You know, try to ignore the stalking and just go on with your daily life. You know.
I know that's going to be hard for people to digest if you're just starting off
It's hard.
to ignore it,
Yeah.
but you will callous up.
Yeah, that's the best.
You will
advice.
callous up.
That's the
Over
best
time, you
advice
will
that I can
callous
give
up.
you. Because the more you react to this targeting, the more you get targeted by these stalkers.
You got to have like a Zen Buddhist
Yeah.
sort of mind state. I know it's very hard because you guys probably seen my last video where I'm rah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Andre had a bit of a rage. That's okay. You're allowed to let your emotions out, but try and keep your composure, and that's something that I got to keep in mind daily because I've got a very short fuse myself. So it's a constant struggle daily between myself and them. And number one rule: do not lay a hand on them. Do not ever lay a hand on them, because if you do, this is where you're going. They're going to put handcuffs on you and march your sorry butt straight into a facility.
Yeah, you'll get framed and you'll get incarcerated.
And then being a targeted individual in a government facility will be a million times worse than being a targeted individual in society. So think about that one. And Ralph and I would like to sort of, have an Australian TI team where we can all get together, have barbecues, just live kind of like a normal life, you know what I mean? Because we can sort of trust each other to some degree, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard going it alone, and strength in number, strength in unity has always worked. And being a human being, or us being human beings in general, we are communal based beings. So being alone is very, very difficult. It is, and I'm speaking from first-hand experience.
You know Shane Gibbs?
Shane Gibbs, yep, the UK team.
Yeah, Shane Gibbs was telling
Salute to Mr. Shane Gibbs, he's an awesome man.
Shane Gibbs was telling me to get in contact with you and started some kind of like a TI group.
Yes, because I got in contact with Mr. Gibbs. I'm not sure if it was a month or so back, and I asked him for some advice of how we should do it down here.
Tell them the TI situation here in Australia. It's much crazier. In the UK and in the US.
The support network is much larger, and
because it's been happening there for quite a while, you know.
Yeah.
But in here in Australia, it's just totally invisible. There are no news about Gangstalking.
We have no support network down here.
There's no support network here.
There's no support network
There's
for any
nothing on
TIs
the
down here.
internet. There's nothing on the newspaper.
I know there are a lot of us out there in Australia, down under. I know there are a lot of us out there, and it's time for you guys to start stepping forward. It doesn't matter what state or territory you're in. Just start stepping forward. I know it's going to be hard for us to sort through the shills and the fakes and the perps, but we'll eventually get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already speaking to more than a handful of real TIs in Australia, but it's still not enough. We need to group up and we need to create a support network because we don't want to be losing any more TIs to suicide.
Yeah, it's just crazy, eh? I mean, these stalkers will either push you into a suicide or they would...
Drive you cuckoo.
No, it's not just that. They would influence the people on doing harm to you.
Yeah.
You know? I know it sounds unbelievable on my part, but it's it's a psychological operation, you know.
Oh, it's a massive psyop.
Yeah, and it originated with in Germany, right? It's called Zersetzung, right?
Zersetzung.
Zersetzung.
Yeah. And it's morphed into what? COINTELPRO, Project Paperclip, MK Ultra, you name it. It's had many names throughout the ages. I'm not sure what this one's name is, but hey, we'll just call it the program for now.
Yeah, it's just crazy, man. I mean, they will label you insane at first.
It's kind of like a white glove treatment from a distance, and we all know where the white glove treatment term comes from. I'm not going to get into that, but many people out there will understand that terminology.
Yeah, it's just crazy how we're being targeted. You know, I mean, a lot of victims to this program are family, you know, they're family oriented people. You know,
most definitely.
And some of them are
some have
old
children.
people.
Some have children.
Yeah, some of them are disabled as well.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm in contact with TIs from Brisbane. A couple who are TIs. I don't want to mention their name. Maybe they don't want me mentioning their name. Maybe next time when I have a chat with them, and I'll ask them if I can mention their name, and they give me the go ahead. That's fine. But just to let you know, they run a business. They have children, and they're both targeted.
I mean, both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah, I just spoke to them yesterday.
Yeah.
With Andy, he called them so I could speak to them, and they told me their story, and they were being highly targeted.
And look, as soon as I'm making a video, I keep getting a call. I always get calls or messages or random events to distract us from making videos. It's just constant distraction. I mean, I'll put my head down on the pillow to have a sleep. Boom, 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 boom. Someone will knock at the door. I'll go to the shower. Boom, 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 boom. It's like it's perfectly timed with such precision and accuracy. I've always said this. I suspect there are some sort type of audio surveillance in the house, but as Ralph mentioned earlier, they can turn any speaker into an audio recorder, right?
Yeah.
Even if the phone's switched off, or if the TV or computer switched off and it has no Wi-Fi or internet capabilities, it can still be tapped into. And I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah.
I know how crazy that sounds, but it can be done.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's being done with my targeting. I know every TI has they have different how do I say it?
Tactics, yeah.
They have different tactics in regarding with their targeting, but with mine, it's crazy.
Mate, they're like magicians with a hat full of tricks. That hat doesn't end.
Just watch my videos. I mean, they tap into speakers, and they can basically throw in their recordings on the speakers that they are tapping. I mean, basically any speakers, like computer speakers, monitors, home speakers, any speakers that you can name on. Cell phones, devices.
Say hi to Dakota, guys. This is Dakota. She wants to be on the action.
So they can verbally harass you from anywhere through a satellite monitoring system. And it's not just that, they can monitor your devices through a metadata satellite monitoring system. And the list goes on and on, man.
And they really love to hurt your pets. Any of you that have pets out there, you got to stay really, really vigilant. As Mr. Shane Gibbs has explained in one of his videos, the first thing they'll go for is what hits you close to your heart. And many of us have pets and we adore them dearly. So be vigilant with your pets. As I am with Dakota. I love this girl right here so much that I just got her from the vet about 2 weeks ago. And they poisoned her and drugged her so many times that, yeah, she's aged and she's so weak. But she's doing really, really well so far. I'm taking care of her and showing her as much love. So if you have pets, keep your eyes on them. Don't let them out of your sight. The same with your children. Don't let your children out of your sights, because I suspect if you have children, your children will be picked on at school and somehow, some way be harassed. So just to get to you, guys. If you have children or pets, they'll do anything to get to you. So be very, very careful, and try and detach yourself from as many materialistic things as possible, because then they can't get to you as easily.
Yeah, they basically use everybody that are close to you, so
Yep.
they could, they could piss you off.
They love using your own tool. They love using your own tools against you.
Yeah. Just to exploit you or trigger you. You know.
Just like the Burke Street Mall attack down in Melbourne. That guy was a TI. If you watch that video, really, really close, the guy is driving around in the intersection and he's trying to get away from people stalking him. He's trying to escape, but he obviously didn't research the program or didn't research what he's going through in depth. And he kept saying Illuminati, Illuminati, Illuminati stalking me, Illuminati's following me. Where I don't play into that Illuminati bollocks. Illuminati is just another thing to keep your self-esteem low, to keep your self-confidence low, to keep you distracted away from what's really out there, the true corruption. So just look up the Burke Street Mall attack in depth, research that. I think another TI from Melbourne, I can't remember his YouTube name, but he's made an exquisite video in relation to that. And I've spoken to him for quite some time. I just have lost contact with him in the last month or so. But yeah, look up his videos and you can see he's got some really good videos. And watch Ralph's videos. Keep watching Filipino Victims on YouTube. Watch his videos. His videos are brilliant. They're not like mine, just recorded and talking. He cuts and edits and pastes and, mate.
Yeah.
Forget about Hollywood. This guy is just. This guy's up there, mate.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I wasn't going to upload those videos because of the sensitivity it has, and the effect that it will bring.
The lashback.
Yeah, because
Or backlash, I should say.
a lot of people, if they start to watch these videos, they would think that, oh, maybe this guy just edited the videos, they would but that's exactly what's going on with my targeting. Believe it or not, it's up to you, man, if you want to believe the video or not, but that's exactly what is going on with my targeting. Every day.
People can't say these days that, oh, this isn't true or that's not true. You've got a keyboard in front of you and you have access to unlimited sources of information if you have the internet. Get on the internet and do your research. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, me as well.
Get on the internet and do your research. It's at your fingertips. You don't have to leave your house. Have a coffee, have a cigarette if you smoke. Sit down.
Yeah, I think that's the best way that
research.
You can tell them,
Educate yourself.
You need to research, because a lot of people, I know this is pretty hard to believe, because how you would think how does a barber and a cleaner get targeted if they don't have any criminal offenses, or they're not even high class people, they're not even up there.
Yeah.
And then they're being targeted every day,
But they do also target people from all walks of life. So you do get working class people getting targeted, lower class people getting targeted, and also upper class people getting targeted.
You need to do your research, man, because it's 2017 and
this program is growing. The amount of targets out there is rapidly increasing.
The technology doesn't it doesn't get stuck in just being like a 1 gigabyte USB, It progresses, Soon we'll have a terabyte, an omnibyte, in the future. Bro, the technology doesn't stop there. You have facial recognition now,
Yep. The new iPhone has facial recognition. So if the new iPhone has facial recognition, that's available to the public.
Yeah.
What do they have? What do they have?
I really suggest that you watch the Snowden movie, because Snowden put out his story for the people to listen. He's basically giving them a warning on what we are going to face in the future. And this is the future. What's happening to me and him is what is going on right now. This is the future that we are facing.
And
we are going to face.
Don't get us wrong. We are nowhere near on the level of Snowden,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I know.
but he has set a benchmark and he's opened the doors wide open
He
for this to be actually believed.
Yeah, he already gave up his freedom, you know,
Yeah, he's a good man.
to get heard.
Just like
So
Julian
that-
Assange.
Yeah,
The
so-
same thing.
So that that you people would believe them, you know, they're basically giving you a warning on what is happening to the world right now, and this is it. It's me and him. It's not just me and him. It's basically it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
bro. I'm telling you.
And this is no conspiracy.
It's not a It's not a conspiracy.
This is not a
theory,
conspiracy.
You know?
This is fact. This is tangible.
It's
You can
fact.
hold
It's
it. You can
happening
grab
every
it.
day.
It's there.
Yeah, it's happening every day. I mean, these people. I mean, it doesn't even make sense at all. Like they would target a person, and their main motive is just to
Destroy him.
destroy him. You know?
Destroy every fabric of every strand of of your life. Every
Yeah.
aspect of your life
That
is
their
going to be
only
destroyed.
motive, you know.
No friends,
That's
no
their-
family, no money, no employment, no. You're not allowed to
Nothing.
study. You're not allowed to.
Nothing.
They want you virtually
They won't. They're
homeless, broken, destitute. That's it. And if they can get you to kill yourself,
Yeah.
that's a bonus
That's
for
a
them.
bonus, right?
That's a bonus.
That's a bonus.
So don't you dare go down that path of suicide. You
Yeah.
stand your ground and you fight in however way that you can. If
But-
you just don't listen to what I said in my last video and get
Yeah.
violent like me. That's
Yeah.
that's not a smart way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just got a very short fuse because I'm Middle Eastern and
Yeah.
sometimes it gets the better of me and I'm sorry.
Yeah. But one of the best advice that I can give you is
Research.
on the not just research, but the first early stages of your targeting. Those people that are new,
Remain calm.
remain calm. If you can ignore it, just please. This is the best advice, you know. Ignore it.
That's when they hit you the hardest.
Don't freaking react to anything on what they say. Don't worry about the defamation. Try to ignore it, man, because there's a lady in Norway. Her name's Marion Bakken, and I've come in contact with her last February, and he actually got out of the program because she didn't react to the stalkers.
Oh really?
Yeah, she got out of the program.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, she was only targeted for a year.
Lucky her.
Yeah, she was targeted. in
I mean, that 1 year
2009.
would have been hell. Not lucky her. That 1 year would have been hell. Don't get me wrong, but still.
Yeah, but we have the same targeting. She has a video and of her testimony on being targeted, and she put that video, that harassment video, in her testimony, and she gets the auditory harassment as well, where they can tap in on the speakers, and they can basically harass you everywhere you go. They can even follow you, you know, because you're being monitored through a satellite monitoring system.
Oh yeah.
I know it sounds insane, you know.
You have to let them know, man. If
Yeah.
you guys can structure your timeline and your testimony
Yeah.
rationally,
Yeah.
get your testimony over to human rights in Geneva.
Yeah.
You have to get it over to Geneva. The more TIs that get our testimonies, I already have done so. I mean, my post is compromised, so I had to write the return address to a parallel street of mine, an address to not my address, to someone else's address, and I waited and seen when the postman delivers the mail at midday. So I'd walk my dog every day at that same time and hope that the mailman delivers the return mail from Geneva, and yeah, I got it back. But if you use your postal address, be careful, because that is also compromised. Everything you do, nothing you do is not surveillanced. Everything is watched. Your postal service. I mean, don't get too paranoid and think that they're watching you while you're showering. No, just scrub a dub and have a shower. Who cares? But when it comes to this, getting your testimony over to Geneva, it's very, very important. And make sure you keep your reference number for your case very, very hidden, and don't give it to anybody. that's the best advice that I can give right now. I mean, it's what is it, 30 something degrees down here in Australia.
Yeah.
It's very hot today. I mean, so I'm about to blow a fuse.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you want to keep going on with the video, but I think we've laid it out pretty well.
Yeah. And
If we have anything else to say, we'll make another video. This is going to be a regular thing. Me and Ralph, we're going to become inseparable. So we've made alliance. We're both friends. We're both TIs, and anyone else out there that's in Australia that wants to get in contact, that is not a shill, that is not a perp. I know that's hard to say because many of you guys are out there.
Yeah.
Get in contact, please. Let's do this together.
Yeah, you won't be able to. I don't want to scare you guys, you know, especially to the newly targeted individuals. You're not going to get out of this program that easily, you know.
I'm sorry that we have to say that.
I'm sorry to say,
but it's not that easy. But the
easy.
first few months is the most intense. That's when they want you to kill yourself the most. If you make it through that,
then
it's just a long bloody journey from there. It's just a very, very long road, but you got to maintain patience and your momentum.
even me, I